I won't speak you, but I guess Martin and yourself had that conversation that, right, let's go through this year, or are we looking at a 2-year plan or a 5-year plan, or are we just letting it roll on?
I'm afraid I agree with Lewis. You've got a great income stream now. The football club is obviously bringing it in. You've got other bits and pieces which unfortunately during the winter are not going to pay very much because of the heating problems, but you're crippling yourselves with the maintenance costs and the electricity.
Yeah.
And while that remains, we're not going to go any further forwards. So I think we've got the argument to say, yes, we can create an income stream, and quite a strong income stream, but we've got to stop spending all that money on just maintaining. Actually, I don't think it's really even the status quo now, it's beginning to go backwards again.
Yeah, we have applied for a grant to repair the clubhouse roof. That's called a clubhouse. I know that some people don't like that phrase. The committee's meeting today. We should get an answer by the end of this month, hopefully, that we'll get enough money to add to the money reserve that we made on the precept to renew the clubhouse roof. The other roof is doing okay. Now the problem is, as Norman alluded to, is heating. Now, you sent me an email, sorry I'm going to be a bit difficult here. You sent me an email saying blah 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 blah, what we put in for Ferry Farm will not pass muster. Yeah?
I don't think it will.
No, okay. No. I've been saying to you two, get your heads together and put in a grant that will pass muster, because we need that heating.
Yep.
Yeah? Can you do that before, I know Norman sent his thing in, but you've got till the end of this month.
I think the figures we're talking about are substantially more than Ferry Farm grant will cover. I think you were looking for £12,000 in total, and that includes some form of heating, which isn't clear what we're going to put in there, some form of insulation, I'm guessing, and so on and so forth. Now, the chairman of the panel knows that building as well as any of us, because he holds his meetings there. He knows the leaks and things like
And the
that.
chairman is Paul Bedford? Or not, or you?
I'm not chairman.
No, who's chairman of the panel?
Chairman of what panel, please?
The Ferry Farm.
Ferry Farm grant.
I believe Mike Nichols.
Mike Nichols is part of it, but he is very influential, is what he says. My real concern on it is, I can put in hours if you want me to write a bid as a bid should be written, like we did for the permits and the blocks. But I don't genuinely think that however well that bid is written, what we're applying it to, the building itself, the state it's in, with sticky plaster, temporary repairs, which effectively that's all the new roof would do over the infinity end,
Yeah, the clubhouse.
the clubhouse end. I wouldn't want to be investing my precious money in that if I was very full. I'm playing devil's advocate.
No, fair enough.
And
But yeah, it's a question of, can we do a stick and plaster job on the heating via a Ferry Farm grant? Or do we have to abandon the project?
Throw your hands up and go, oh, what should it be?
Yeah.
Yes, because if we don't get the heating, people aren't going to rent
No,
it in the
that's
winter.
absolutely
are
right.
Can I just put
they? This
something
is
in?
the problem.
Other Ferry Farm, and I know what they do, so this is a very difficult thing maybe to ask for a grant, but what about solar panels for the hall that could also be used for the new hall if it was put on the land, and battery packs, which would then reduce their electricity bill.
I agree with that.
If I could just come in there,
You could come
because
and watch
you
it.
probably didn't know that we put a grant in a year ago, which was turned down, but arising out of that, consultants were brought in to do their assessment. Their assessment was no different than if I'd been involved doing it, which is basically you've got to put in much more heating, and in order to make it effective, you've got to improve the insulation enormously. Now,
Well, I'm not talking about heating here, Norman, I'm talking about electricity.
yes.
Now, what you use your electricity for is totally up to you,
Yeah.
but it would reduce your electricity cost.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going at, and then you've got more an application to go
But
forward
not
on.
in winter so much.
Not in winter so much. I'm just,
It's now the critical problem.
yeah,
I mean, to be fair to Norma, we've had a hiccup with the Devonshire's, let's be honest.
yes, the way.
It's caused problems.
Yeah.
We've got to rebuild from that, rebuild customer confidence in the project. The parish invested 25 grand, roughly.
Yeah, it's done to waste £50,000.
I'm not in the mood at the moment to turn the page on it. I think we've got to persevere and do all we can to do it. If we can get a small portion of that ground to get some areas that we can heat effectively, to bring in the people that are leaving us, it will be very useful. I would like you to talk to Norman, see if you can rescue that bit. If you don't think it's on,
I would propose that to put it back in again, which going along the lines that Lewis has suggested, which is what I've said all along. We need to provide power. Now, I have solar panels, you have solar panels, and I love it. Even in the winter, my batteries get topped up. The amount of hall's being used.
my batteries get topped by cheap juice overnight.
Okay, well, I'm getting it on the sunny days and things
Yeah,
like
I do
that.
as
Those
well.
batteries will hold the power, probably quite a lot of power for when they need to be used. So if we go along that line, saying it's renewable energy, the sustainable energy, it can be used in the future as well as in the present. Because otherwise we're going in and saying, well, actually, to do the heating, we need to have installation to do this, do this, do this. It just all builds and builds and builds. So I will work with Norman and perhaps approach it in a different way. Go to my local state, can we just withdraw our...
You've got to the end of January the 30th, haven't you?
Yes. It's not another time.
No, I know. But we need to get something out of the Ferry Farm ground this time round. I mean, they were good to us last time in terms of and we've seen the benefit on the floodlights.
And they will listen if we put something sensible.
Right, well, you're on the panel, Norman's not.
Yeah.
But between the two of you, plus our contacts in the Ferry Farm, well, don't forget, Sidlesham has a right, in inverted commas, to about 50%.
It's still not a huge amount of money.
Hmm?
It's still not £12,000.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's,
Yeah.
we'd be very happy to get what we get.
Jen, may I ask a question? I'm a bit with you when you say you're not ready to turn the page on the fact that we spent all that money already. I'm very interested in what you said about the solar panel. Do Ferry Farm, would they install solar panels, or would we have to do that through another
I
company?
doubt it. No.
Okay, well that's just a quick question.
I think that we'd have to get a contractor. I
Yeah.
mean, there is a contractor,
Yeah.
a local contractor. In the village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
We did
second
my panels as well for that matter.
second bit of my comment is, I don't think there ever will be the £1 million to build a proper hall there, which is what it would cost in today's terms to do what we want. And I'm going to opt now to be benefiting from it if it ever does happen. I've said this before, what can we do? I would maintain the building if possible. Can we take some of that building away? Can we reduce the size of it? Some of the bits that are falling to bits, can they not be decommissioned and literally walled up, knocked down? It's far too big.
Yes, you're quite
It's
right.
too
No,
big.
it is.
But again, this is a case where we need to sit with the SCA, so rather like the planning thing, actually come to an agreement about the plans for the future.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a long-term
It's a
plan.
long-term plan.
So we've got a little plan to patch up a roof, a little plan for some heating and this.
Well,
It is very difficult.
The plan was originally 25,000 in, redo the building. But, I mean, we possibly made a mistake by redoing the bit that was worst and not doing the bit that was best at the time, which is the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Hindsight's always a
The hall is the one that probably is unheatable. Yeah?
Yeah.
The clubhouse is the one that's most usable. And the income from the clubhouse and the football is actually keeping the thing afloat, roughly.
So as Trish said, should we just concentrate on that end?
Well, that's what we're trying to get. That's
I
what we're
do
trying to get
understand
around.
why
To
it's
do the roof.
very difficult to have a long-term plan, because there isn't the money. It's very difficult to make a
What point
plan
do we try to get?
very small income.
Whether that's through whatever, we're not doing anything
Hang on.
at the moment.
I think we try, no, hang on, no, that's not true. A, we've got a very viable
Yes.
operation on soccer,
Agree.
no doubt about it, we are full. We,
Agree.
you know, we're happy when matches are cancelled, and we do our best. And that earns us good money. And also by the bar, that is the area that works. It's a big hall at the moment, it isn't.
Can see that.
Yeah, you can see it, there. I think if we can build up the social side of it a bit more in the next couple of years, as I say, we've had a hiccup with the Devonshires.
But I think
They put us back.
I think Norman's named it. We have facilities like this here that's clean, that's tidy, that's heated, that you're losing out to.
Yeah.
I think some of the services we're losing out to is the church hall, not this one.
But,
It's the church hall, I think.
but if that was a new building, you're going to draw more people back. It's a catch-22, a chicken
Oh,
and
yeah,
egg.
catch-22.
Which, at what point do you say, right, we now have reserves, we've now got 3 years of training that's making money, or is it 5 years? At what point do we make that decision to go, let's approach the lottery, let's look at a loan, whatever the decision is, or do we say, we've done 5 years, it's a lot of work for nothing, let's knock it down?
Yeah,
Whether that's, whichever it is,
I think you probably,
when do we make that
my
decision?
view would be, I say my view, but it's only my personal view, I think 3 years, we should have an inkling by then of whether we can build up the football side is fine.
Yeah,
You could replace the clubhouse by a much smaller
could
building
do.
via a grant
Not cheap.
from the football foundation.
And maybe that's all it needs.
Well, maybe that's,
Fair enough.
we can't build up the social side of it.
Pavilion, yeah.
And- yeah.
Pavilion.
Yes, that sort of thing.
I mean, just, sorry.
I think this is
And-
something
and-
that we will take a lot of discussion.
Yes.
Probably we could do with a meeting again,
Another
another
meeting.
meeting with all of us, just about the memorial field and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Because there's lots to say about it.
Can I just ask, the old church hall, is it now defunct?
No,
No,
It's still working, is it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
fancy
they're still
I
doing
don't think the church commissioners have extended the licence yet, have they?
They're still doing
No,
But then again,
my
you-
question was,
youth club.
my next question was, who owns it? Does the parish own it or does the church? own it?
Church owns it.
Church.
Well, the
No,
church
the
commission
commissioners.
owns the land,
Yes.
and the church itself owns the building. Is that right?
Yes, and the...
Yes,
and the-
but obviously any building on leased land, it goes back to the church commissioners.
Goes back to
So,
the commission.
and at the moment, I think they're still paying a peppercorn rent of £10 a year, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's long overdue that the church commissioners to say what, extension of the lease they're going to grant. It obviously was 50 years originally, and that's run out, it's all 3 or 4 years ago now at least.
Yes, I know, yeah.
What persuasive powers does the parish have over the church commissioners that we might... My suggestion was, if it's not being used, it's a suitable plot for a new development, a building.
No, that's why the church commissioners
That
want
could
to
be
put the lease.
£300,000 worth of building sites.
Don't
They
mention
have-
that.
They have
Commissioners
hope,
will
they have hope
use
value,
it for
Martin.
building.
They have hope value on that, the church.
Yeah.
That's why they wouldn't originally give us an extension of the churchyard.
Anyway.
I got that grant through towards paying for that when I was district councillor. And the argument prior to that, as Adrian will know this, to Grisfield when she tried to get the new graveyard there. Oh, you can have it further down the road, up near Spivey's farm, because we have hope value on the field that is now the new graveyard. So they also have hope value on that plot there. So you've got to be careful where you go with that.
Yes.
They won't do anything
No,
with it.
okay.
No, but if they
Yeah.
could get it,
Just
they
try and
could,
come
if they could get
short
it,
on
that
this.
is
Yeah,
out
I
of
do.
the matter.
One remark and we move on, and we
Yeah.
have a separate meeting to discuss the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we should, because I think we've all got some...
To go back to where we were, talking about the memorial hall, Ferry Farm, bid and all that sort of business. Well, one thing I would like out of this meeting is to get the parish council's blessing that we re-look at what we're looking for with a bid to Farry Farm, and it's not just heating. Let's go and attack the thing which is costing us the most amount of money, which is the electricity.
Well, that's good.
And then go for the solar panels. We can then hopefully reduce for whatever we're paying in electricity, almost £4,000 a year. I think Norman mentioned it might go up to 8,000. That's sustainable. That can be used in the future. If we go in at the bottom end, the solution, we want some, whatever they are, infrared heaters. I don't think that will hold water because the rest of it just doesn't come together. So if I'm going to
by the time we've got to the end of this month and you've got a new position, we've got a grant to redo the roof.
Okay.
That will hold us for a couple of years.
That will help as well. But
Yes.
I'm going to put a lot of effort into it. I would like to go down the solar panel route rather than just some infrared heaters and installation. But I leave it to you two to decide.
The key to this is actually to have stuff which we are spending money on, but that money is not lost, i.e. solar panels can be dismounted, internal heaters can be dismounted, and that could be reapplied to a new building in the future. So that although we have spent 50,000 and sunk that money into the existing building, what I'm talking about is from here onwards, what money we're expending on capital has got to have a dual life, i.e. to come off the existing building and be put on a new building. And that's the only way that this is ever going to work. So I'm not unhappy about getting a grant from Ferry Farm, but it's on condition, and you know, you're setting the conditions, but it's got to be stuff that is detached and available to the second life.
Yeah, okay, well, if you two get together, maybe I'll join you if I'm invited.
You're invited.
We'll try and see where we can get to. On this
We
one.
put it on the floor.
And maybe report back to the council next meeting.
Thank you.
But will we get, you are planning to actually submit something to Farry Farm?
We've already submitted something.
Absolutely.
But I want to pull that one back because I don't personally, and I've given it to Martin as well, he sat on the panels in the past.
Yeah.
He knows what's required. I don't think the words are in it which will get it very far.
Well, Norman's not used to, he's not of the Ferry Farm, are you? So, right.
And
It needs
that's
some help.
I want to pull it back. We're going to do it all over again. I agree with Lewis, solar panels, not on top of a
You
building,
won't miss a
just
slot.
in case the roof collapses
You
completely.
won't miss the funding slot, a period of time when the grants available and end up having to wait till next year or something when you...
No, it's got to be in by the 30th of January.
So you have got just enough time.
Yes.
Yes, Trish, means I've got
No, that's what
my
I-
finger up, it's work. Yeah, simple as that. Yeah.
Got to the end of
Support
this
that.
one.
Anyway, I want to move on.
Yeah.
Last one.
You wouldn't credit it, but I think actually this building is used a lot
Yeah.
in preference to the church residents.
I know.
As long as
Why? Because it's warm and
Because it's
comfortable.
nice.
and as long as the numbers are not huge.
Yeah.
The problem with the church hall at the moment is apparently it needs the escape routes properly repaired before it's hard out for various things. And the other little bit of information you might like to know that the lunch club, which was being run by our friends, they've actually approached the church now to run the lunch club back in the church hall.
Not
Can I just
Exactly, they
Let's
can't.
jump in here because our friends, as you call them, Wendy and Kate are actually running the lunch club. They started using this room rather than the hall at Christmas because the big hall has been almost impossible to keep people warm. They're older people, they need to be looked after. As soon as that hall is ready to be used again, they'll be back in there. I know they want to be back in there because I know both of them want to use the hall.
Well, they'll be back in the memorial hall rather than the village, the church hall.
For
Move on, we can do this,
yes.
we can do this further, we'll move on. Extension of MOU, I would suggest that the MOU is extended at the moment till the end of Feb.
Yes, we gave it 3 months at the
3
last
months.
meeting, and I think you were going to recommend a further 3
I
months.
think we should recommend, yes, a further 3 months. I wanted, while we sort this thing out.
agree.
Okay.
Do you want, everyone agree with that?
Yeah,